In 1513, a man sat in exile on a small farm outside Florence. He had served his republic faithfully for 14 years. He had negotiated with kings, he had built an army, he had watched his city fall. And then they arrested him, tortured him, threw him out, so he picked up a pen, and what he wrote 500 years later they still call dangerous. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli, and I'm going to tell you why everything you think you know about him is wrong. The word Machiavellian has become an insult. Cunning, deceitful, cold, ruthless. When someone calls you Machiavellian, they are not paying you a compliment. But here is the question nobody asks. Why did one man's name become synonymous with manipulation? Why did the Catholic Church place his books on the Index of Forbidden Books in 1559? Why have powerful men feared his ideas for half a millennium? Because he told the truth, not a comfortable truth, not a truth dressed in moral robes and sermon language, a cold, clear, unflinching truth about how power works, how men behave, and what it actually costs to build something that lasts. Machiavelli did not invent cruelty, he described it. He did not celebrate evil, he studied it. He looked at the world as it is, not as we wish it were, and he wrote it down with brutal clarity. And for that, they never forgave him. Today we are going to read Machiavelli the way he deserves to be read, not as a villain, not as a saint, as a realist, as a student of Rome, as a man who understood something about power, fortune, and virtue that most men spend their entire lives refusing to face. This is not a history lesson. This is a mirror. You cannot understand what Machiavelli wrote without understanding what he lived through. Italy in the late 1400s was not a nation. It was a fracture. City-states competing with each other, Florence, Venice, Milan, Naples, while France, Spain, and the Holy Roman Empire carved it up from the outside. In 1494, the French invaded. The Italian states crumbled before them like cheap marble. The fragility was total. And in Florence, Machiavelli watched. He served the Florentine Republic for 14 years. He was not a bystander. He was a diplomat, a strategist. He negotiated with Cesare Borgia, one of the most ruthless men of his age, and he studied him with the cold eye of a scientist studying a predator. He saw what effective power looked like up close. He also organized Florence's citizen militia. He believed in something. He believed that a republic, properly armed and properly led, could survive. He was wrong, or rather, the men around him were not equal to the moment. In 1512, Spanish troops marched on Florence. The republic collapsed. The Medici returned, and Machiavelli was arrested, accused of conspiracy, and tortured on the strappado, a method where your arms are bound behind your back and you are hoisted into the air and dropped repeatedly. He did not break. He was released, exiled to his small family farm, stripped of his office, his purpose, his place. And there, in that forced stillness, he wrote, think about that. This was not the work of an armchair philosopher who had never tasted defeat. This was a man who had served, suffered, lost, and survived, who had watched institutions he believed in crumble because the men in them were not strong enough or honest enough to hold them. The urgency in his writing is real. It comes from someone who saw republics die in real time. Seneca wrote, per aspera ad astra, through hardship to the stars. Machiavelli's hardship did not produce bitterness, it produced clarity. And that clarity, that refusal to dress reality in comfortable lies, is why we still read him. Here is the idea at the center of everything Machiavelli wrote, fortuna. He imagined fortune as a violent river. In calm times, men build dikes and channels, they prepare. And when the flood comes, the prepared man survives. The man who relied on good weather drowns. Fortuna is not luck in the passive sense. It is everything you cannot control. The economy, the political climate, other men's decisions, the chaos of the world. And against fortuna, Machiavelli placed virtù, not virtue in the Christian sense. That distinction is critical. Christian virtue is humility, charity, piety, patience. These are inward qualities, beautiful in their place. Machiavellian virtù comes from the Latin virtus, the Roman root. Manliness, courage, capacity, the force of will that shapes events rather than suffering them. It is adaptability over rigidity. It is the ability to be a lion when you need force and a fox when you need cunning. It is preparation meeting the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote about mastering the inner world. Machiavelli wrote about mastering the outer one. They are not contradictions, they are complements. A man with no inner mastery cannot exercise outer power with wisdom. And a man with no outer effectiveness is merely a monk. Now, the greatest misreading of Machiavelli is the phrase attributed to him. The ends justify the means. He never wrote it. What he actually argued is more precise, more honest. A ruler operating in a dangerous world must sometimes act in ways that fall outside conventional morality, not because evil is good, but because the cost of inaction or naivety is often worse. The collapse of order is worse. The death of the Republic is worse. He is not celebrating cruelty. He is saying, know the real price of your choices. The man who is too pure to make hard decisions does not stay in power long enough to do any good. And the wreckage he leaves behind is not virtue. It is vanity. Machiavelli watched good men lose because they refused to face the world as it was. He decided never to make that mistake on paper. When Machiavelli wanted a model, a real historical proof that men could build something great and lasting, he did not look to the present. He looked to Rome. Specifically, the Roman Republic. Not the empire in its decadence, not the corruption of its final centuries. The Republic at its height, the Rome that expanded not through the genius of one man alone, but through institutions, laws, citizen soldiers, and a civic culture that demanded strength and sacrifice from everyone. He spent years writing the Discourses on Livy, a detailed study of Roman Republican history. This is the work his critics ignore. The prince gets all the attention. The Discourses reveal the deeper man. What did he see in Rome? He saw that class conflict, the tension between patricians and plebeians, was not Rome's weakness. It was its engine. Good laws emerged from real conflict, real negotiation, real stakes. The Republic was not peaceful, it was productive. He admired Fabius Maximus, the Roman general who refused to meet Hannibal in open battle, patience as strategy, caution as virtue when the moment demanded it. He admired Scipio Africanus, who understood when the moment had shifted and attacked with total commitment. Two different men, two expressions of virtue suited to different circumstances. That is the lesson. There is no single formula, there is only clear thinking, preparation, and the courage to act when the moment arrives. And Rome, with its centuries of institutional strength, its citizen soldiers, its durable republican structure, proved that men, properly organized and properly led, could build something that outlasted any single emperor. Rome did not fall because it was weak. Rome fell because it forgot what made it strong. That is not ancient history. That is a warning. I want to speak to you directly now. Most men encounter Machiavelli as a caricature, the villain's philosopher, the name you invoke when you want to describe someone cold and calculating. But if you read him honestly, and if you sit with the prince and the Discourses and you take his challenge seriously, you find something different. You find a man asking the hardest question there is. Are you honest enough about reality to act effectively within it? Because the comfortable lie is always available. You can tell yourself the world is fair, that good intentions are enough, that loyalty will always be returned, that if you are virtuous by someone else's definition, things will work out. Machiavelli says, maybe and maybe not, and you had better be prepared for both. Prepare for fortuna. Build your defenses in calm weather. Know your own nature and the nature of the men around you. Do not rely on sentiment when you should be building strength. This is not cynicism, this is clarity. The Stoics taught self-mastery, Rome taught institutional strength, Machiavelli taught honest engagement with a world that does not reward naivety. All three together, that is a man the world cannot easily move. 500 years after his death, Machiavelli is still called dangerous. Good. The ideas that threaten comfortable mediocrity should be dangerous. The man who reads honestly, who prepares in calm weather, who exercises his virtue with discipline and without apology, who builds, not wishes, and who faces the world as it is while holding the standard of what it should be. That man is not Machiavellian in the way they mean it. He is Roman. The sun rises unconquered. Every morning without negotiation, without sentiment, it rises. So must we. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Let that remembrance sharpen every hour you have. Semper ad meliora. Always towards better things.